Shall we listen, we love? Welcome back to The Gong Show. So grateful that you decided to join us again for yet another break. We're going to make it worth your while. This is the Daily Dose. This is when we take a jump into the Cure, jump into this Team Bible from Remedy Live, and we see what the Lord has to say to us today. I got to ask you, Cha-Ching, I've never put you to the test on this one, but are you the kind of person that if you knew how close you could get to the cliff without falling off, you'd get that close? Or are you someone that stands 10 feet back and says, I'll just trust you on this one?
I would like to stand 10 feet back because I don't want to fall.
Yeah, well, I think human nature, unfortunately, is kind of the opposite, that the human beings want to know, how far can I get to the edge? How much can I get away with? You know, I just want to be able to get as close as I can without getting in too much trouble. And I've got 4 kids. We talk about them a lot on the show, and they're great kids, but they like to push the boundaries. You know, how far can I go? And they smack each other just a little bit, and if it doesn't quite hurt, but it's just kind of a pester, then am I really doing wrong? And you know what? Their papa's probably just a big kid too, because there are things I do where I want to get as close as I can, and without getting burned, so to speak. And that, I think, again, that's part of human nature. But you know, there was a guy in the Bible named Solomon. They call him the wisest of all of the men and the writers, the people in the Bible that God inspired to write down this thing called the Bible. Smart dude. And he says this, and I know I'm kind of foppanizing this a little bit, but when it comes to getting how close, like to the bottom line, like to the edge, this is what he says in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. He says, everything you were taught can be put into a few words. And this is what he says: respect and obey God. That is what life is all about. I wish it would have ended there, because the next part is a little bit heavier. God will judge everything we do, even what is done in secret, whether good or bad. So basically what Solomon, this wise man, wants to say to us today is, you know what? If we could just sum it all up, are you living a life that fears God, respects Him, and obeys Him? Now, most of us would say, well, no, I'm not. I make mistakes all the time. I choose what I shouldn't choose. I do what I shouldn't do. And I thank God that He forgives me. And He does forgive us. But if you had someone that you love so much and all you did was take advantage of them, you're not really loving them. You're just, again, kind of living in their grace. And the Song of Solomon, Book of Ecclesiastes, I'll slip up there. Song of Solomon's next. Oh my, I'm not going to read that. That's a little bit R-rated. He says, hey, instead of just, jumping over the edge and getting too close to sum it up here. Just respect and obey God. And this probably might be discouraging for a little bit today. I know it's kind of hitting me hard between the eyes, but can we look at every decision, every minute, everything we do and say, God, is this going to please you? Is this choice, is this decision, is what I'm doing right now going to please you? Because I want to please you. And is it the best way for me to live my life? Rather than how close can I get without getting burned? So just a thought, just a thought for you. It's a dose of the day. That's all I've got to say. Contest coming up here in the next break. We're going to give away one of these. Okay, so don't you go anywhere. You're watching The Gong Show, RemyLive.com.